Hello.
Hello.
So much action already.
So much
Thank
action.
you for the follows and the subs.
Well, hello everyone. I, me, and
Acting
everyone else is back.
Games. Bert. Panic Bomb. Thank you, thank you.
Cleaning up my trusty brush.
Wad Tomato, I would say we missed your faces too, but I don't know what your face looks like. But I miss seeing your name and saying Wad Potato.
Wad Potato. Poor Wad. His name.
Spatsnet said, it's about time. I've been waiting for you to start since last Friday afternoon.
Yep. We're back. We survived. We're alive.
Starting out with some brush cleaning, Jordan.
Yep.
Did you get your brushes all dirty at Gen Con?
Yep. Yeah, it was definitely in need of a little bit of love.
Booker said it was a pleasure meeting you at Gen Con.
It most certainly was.
You guys know that it's Jordan's birthday today?
It is, in fact, my birthday
It's Jordan's
today.
birthday today. That should have been the stream title.
Hey, oh, that's not on me.
There's a lot going on today.
An extra
First
special
day
day.
back, Jordan's birthday,
Yep.
challenge review day.
So much to do.
The one time when I had like a multitude of options for the stream title, and I went with "We're back. Did you miss us?"
I mean, I think
you do?
people did miss us, though. We seem to be missed. It was great to see everybody at Gen Con who was there. It was great to meet everybody who I'd never met before as well. It was very exciting.
W66 Bucks said, I just met Jordan at Gen Con on Sunday. Had a great conversation on getting me started to paint minis.
Let's go!
Oh, look at you. Coming and watching our stream. Thank you.
I definitely
and welcome.
told lots of people about how cool the stream is.
Nice.
And how they should come join us and have
he's
fun time.
Painting and chilling with us. Double special day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his job, but no. He enjoys it. I think.
That's my job, Jen. Thanks. Thanks, Jen. See that, everybody? That's me getting thrown under the bus. That's what that's called. Oops. Feels nice.
I mean, yes, because technically Jordan could have been off today. We give people the day off for their birthday.
I had.
So he could have
No.
stayed home.
Today would not have worked. Today would not have worked for that.
But he did. He chose to be here with you guys. Nebuchadnezzar or Nebuchadnezzar? I can never remember this one. The pronunciation of it. But anyway, it says it's his birthday tomorrow.
Woo!
So,
Happy early birthday.
Birthday pal, almost.
What's up, birthday pal? Okay. So we're getting here.
Is it really thrown under the bus when your boss does it?
Yes. Even then. Even then, everyone. Jordan has yesterday off soccer. I flew back from Gen Con yesterday.
Now they were supposed to have arrived back here at like 6 a.m., which meant that they all could have come to work.
We had a delay. In fact, we had 2 delays.
But they still got back by like 10 in the morning. But
yeah.
None of them came to work, not a single one. Philip was here for like 5 minutes. That's it.
His car was here.
Yeah. That's the only reason.
He dropped some stuff off on his desk.
He came in through the building to get back to the back of the building where his car was.
Yep. Let's see who we got here. T. Schmidt with a sub, 64 months. Missed you, nerds. Welcome back. Well, we missed you too.
Panic Bomb.
Wow, game
12
delay.
months and 60 streams streak. Title asks if we missed you. I didn't miss Jordan, but I did miss Jen. Thank you. Game delay.
That is
I know
soul
it's only
crushing.
because you saw Jordan.
That is soul
in
crushing.
Person. You probably would say you didn't miss Jason either.
It's my birthday, and you're being that mean to me. Game delay.
Osobi paints for pig bacon Chuck.
Some of them. There's a group of them on the desk. Did you want to paint them today? I mean, we can go get them really quick. Those ones are at my house. Yeah. I have some in my office, but not the Signar ones.
Game Delay said, I didn't miss you, Jordan, because I saw you almost every day. I heard about, well, first of all, I saw a picture of the bread, and I heard about some cookies.
There are cookies.
Yeah.
There is bread.
That's just a story as far as I can tell, because I have not seen any of these things. I did, however, get 2 loaves of pumpkin bread from Chuck and Jade. They trusted Shelby with my pumpkin bread.
Until we got to the airport, and
Yes.
then she gave it to Jason.
And then Shelby handed it over, and I tried to play a trick on Shelby this morning. Because she came in, and she's like, did Jason give you the bread? And I said, what?
No. What bread? Shelby would have been very disappointed in Jason.
I don't think I sold it too well. Maybe. You ended up with a spare loaf to take home. How many loaves were given to Shelby? I think 2. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. She was given my 2.
She was given
hold.
your 2 and the ones for all the rest of us.
Okay.
And she kind of coordinated making sure that we all had it.
Okay.
And then she needed to pass it off to Jason to take it back home to you.
Jason brought home 1 loaf with his name on it.
And
I don't know if he had 2 and ate 1.
He should have had 3 total loaves to bring back.
He did. He brought back 3.
Yes.
Yes.
One of them was for you. Or, I'm sorry, 2 of them were for
Yes.
you. One of them was for him.
7 total loaves, said Philip. Okay. So 3 for us, 4 for the rest of you. That works. I did get both. They both have my name on it. Hopefully it freezes well because I put one in the freezer. Because as much as I love it, I don't think I can eat.
Can't eat that much that fast.
Yeah, before it would not be as fresh.
Yeah.
Gamut Elay is 100% worth hanging out with, said Chuck.
I would concur with that.
Wait a minute now. I got no Kringle. So if there was supposed to be Kringle coming to me, somebody stole it. And that might be worse than the pumpkin bread.
The Kringle was probably not super awesome by the time we got to the end of the show. Because it was fresh when we got it.
Yeah.
And we had some of it during the show. And by the time the show came around to the end, it was like not.
Was
so
it from
great.
the little Wisconsin bakery place?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can get it at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Maybe. Sometimes.
Or at least I think so. Shelby would know more about it than I would.
Okay.
She was largely handling a lot of that. I was on the other side of the booth for most of it.
And honestly, we can get Kringles here. Our Trader Joe's generally has the Kringle. There was a long stretch of time, like around COVID, when they didn't have it. But now, I think the last couple times we've been able to get a Kringle there. I heard Game Delay or Gamut Elay is a blue-haired punk, and he said, "I am a blue-haired punk, just without the punk." Yeah, I've seen that on their the package that we get at Trader Joe's. Saw Monument is doing custom sets for the new Dragon Trappers Lodge campaign. They're not. I mean, they're picking the colors, but they're not new colors.
Yeah, they're a combination of colors that we would normally have not in a set.
Right. So custom sets in that they are picking some sets that we'll have built and like assembled like our regulars, but the colors that they pick. But no new colors are going to be in them. Gamut Elay is also a bad influence. Well, it's because he's a blue-haired punk. He forced me to go back into the exhibit hall to buy more games. Oh, Panic Bomb. Yeah, it's super cool. We're very excited about it. I just wanted to make sure that someone didn't read that as there's going to be new paints. We also got Gabe to buy the same game that Chuck did, and hope Gabe likes it. I don't know if he's played it. Jordan, did you shop much at Gen Con? Did they have any good stuff that you bought there?
Yes. Some of that we'll talk about when Jason gets here.
Oh.
I bought myself some One Piece birthday present cards, which was cool. That was very exciting. Generally speaking, I don't buy a ton of board games. Mm-hmm. For most of my life, I have been surrounded by people who are obsessed with board games and buy them all and then facilitate the playing of board games.
You haven't needed to.
So I've never really
benefit from that.
Correct.
Yes.
And to some extent, I'm sort of in that boat right now with like Gabe, who has board games and likes playing board games, likes buying board games. That may change as he's not quite as much of a fanatic as Scrumbly Dumpus is. That guy buys everything, like actually everything. So he has a lot of board games, a lot of good ones, but he has a lot of board games. So yeah. There were some things that I tried to get that I couldn't get. A really bad experience with the line. That I was maybe very frustrated on Sunday. I got like pushed out of a line by people getting into a line. I was very mad.
That's incredibly rude.
Yeah, I was there in the morning, like a couple of minutes before the hall opened up, to stand in line to get some promos from Bandai, and because they had a thing that I really wanted out of it, and there were a clump of maybe 10 of us standing there, kind of waiting for the hall to open so we could line up. Mm-hmm. And at 10, they were like, "Hey, you guys can line up over here." And as the blob started like moving towards that area, all of a sudden, maybe 50 people start running past us to where that line started. And I got like pushed out of the way by 5 or 6 people trying to get into that line. And then I was like, okay, well, that's lame. I guess I'll just walk to the end of this corner and stand there. And right as I get to the corner to like hop into the line, they're like, "Hey, you got to go over to that line that's starting up over there because that is where this continues over." And I'm like, "Screw this! I'm not. This is awful." Wow. So I was very, very unhappy, and I don't get unhappy about things like that very often. That I'm still pretty irked about that.
Sounds like some greedy people.
Yeah, it's not even just greedy people. It's people who are rude and inconsiderate,
self-absorbed.
People who have terrible line management and planning.
I'm the only one who matters. Oh, the vendors.
Yeah, like they very easily could have just said, "Hey, you vendors, we can just give you guys the things like 5 minutes in advance."
Yeah.
And then we could have not had to be in the line at all. Yeah. And that's another frustrating thing I think for me about Gen Con for the last couple of years. It feels like it gets worse and worse and worse. Is I feel like there's less camaraderie amongst vendors. Like for a very long time, in my experiences at Gen Con, it's always been one of those things where it's like, "Hey, if you're really excited about this thing, hey, I'll like set a copy aside for you, or like I'll hook you up with a copy." It's like there's not enough vendors at the show to like stop people from being able to get copies of stuff. And I feel like the last couple of years it's been very much stonewalling. Like, nope, we're not doing anything early for vendors. We don't care. Like, we're not willing to work with you guys at all. Like, yeah, it's been very weird. It's very, very weird, and I feel like it gets worse and worse and worse every year that we go, and it just bums me out because there's something cool about not like striking deals with other vendors of the show, but like we're all there together doing similar kinds of things, and we're all excited about cool stuff, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sorry, Jason, by the way. I didn't realize that you were going to work on it on the stream today.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. We're back.
We got him.
Papa Chicken said the AOI Mini is looking phenomenal. Bummed that I missed all the progress made last week. Did you paint any of it? Did you take it with you?
I did.
Paint it?
Yeah, I did.
Will there be more OSL added to the headdress, etc.?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the introductory stages of it right now. Where I'm working on getting through a lot of that. That's a creepy eyeball.
It's not Gen Con,
Yeah,
it's
you were here,
Line
man.
Con. With bonus line cutting stinky geeks. Jordan was unhappy enough that he had wrinkles on his youthful features. What?
Why are you mad?
Oh, just stupid line stuff. People being dumb and rude and inconsiderate and frustrating.
It was
And what?
strange to see an unhappy baby J in person.
Just getting like pushed out of line when I was trying to get something.
Oh.
Like just
Scientologist, thank
people
you
running at stuff.
for the sub. 67 months. That's a long time. Panic Bomb said, welcome back, Jason.
Thank you.
Chuck said the Dirt King has returned.
Ugh.
D-Fresh said, welcome back. What Tomato said, welcome back.
Yes, I have a hat that says I'm the Dirt King. I'm not wearing it.
What does that mean?
The Dirt King thing? Were you not here for the Dirt King thing, Jen?
Don't know what it apparently was not. I don't know what
Jason
this is about.
had a day where he was like, everything is dirt. It's all dirt,
Dental day, probably.
potentially.
Yeah, I think it was. I think you had gone to the dentist that day.
And Jason made a very compelling reason as to why everything is dirt.
Ah. Papa Chicken said, really getting into a filter transparent paint style. Is there a best practice you all employ when you want to airbrush an overall filter and have to create your own colors?
Have to create your own colors. How do you
That's
mean?
like two questions.
Do you want to look at it? Would it help you to
Really,
read it?
really getting into filter transparent paint style. Is there a best practice you all employ when you want to airbrush an overall filter and have to create your own colors?
So I will tell you this straight out of the gates. Filtering is a great technique. I would not consider it to be a paint style. While we have things in the hobby like slap chop and all the silly names they'll give it, to rely on filtering as an overall painting style is going to give less than stellar results on a lot of things, because filtering by its very nature desaturates color considerably. You can use it as a way to get your foundation of value on the model, which is good, but then you spend as much time, building those values back up with actual opaque paint and standard, other techniques, glazes and layering and things like that. So you're saying create your own colors, i.e. there's no transparent teal. How much you make one out of your own?
Blue,
Well,
green.
I mean, mixing the transparents, you have every color you need. You have CMYK in the transparents with, especially if you add dark magenta in there, but even with just red, yellow, blue, white, and black, you can create any color you want. So if you refer to a color wheel, you'll figure out how to get all your mixes from the transparents that you could ever need. And then you can mix glaze and wash medium into them and use them as filters over just about anything. Remember too, though, when filtering, mixing the right color as a filter it's only going to get you so far, because as soon as you layer it over whatever your base is, it alters. It's either going to, if you go over white, it's going to desaturate and move towards a brighter version of itself. If you put it over another color, then it's going to visually mix those colors, right? Because remember, in subtractive mixing, which is what paint is, as opposed to additive mixing, which is what light is, anytime you lay a pigment over another color, another pigment, right, you're going to get a third visual pigment. So if you were to paint, like right now, I'm painting this eye with pale yellow as the reflection spot on the eye. When I put transparent yellow over it, it's going to brighten the transparent yellow over these brighter areas. Yeah, so it won't give me the exact color of the transparent yellow. So just be aware of that, right? When filtering, you have to kind of have in your mind's eye already factored in what that color is going to become over the base that you're looking to put it on. If you're just dealing in blacks, grays, and whites, right, by building up black and white and gray value on the model and then putting your filter over the top, just realize what that's going to do. Gray is going to tone it, which is going to suck a lot of the color out and desaturate it into a mid-tone palette. Black is going to desaturate it into shadows, and white is going to desaturate it into highlights. So whatever color you go with, number one, start darker in that tone that you want in general, because typically where you're looking to see the color influx is on the midtones and the highlights, and those are going to basically brighten the color that you put over them once you thin it down. So, you know, if you're going to glaze something with red, you don't want to start maybe with bold pyro red. You probably want to start with burnt red and filter that over it, because you'll get a brighter red out of burnt red over white. Whereas if you put bold pyro red over that same white, it's going to already start taking you towards the realm of pink. So filtering is so last year.
W66 Buck. Jordan spoke to me about getting a size 3 sable and a size 3 synthetic to see the feel of the brush, but do not see it on the website. Is the size 3 synthetic sold out? We don't make one. You could do 2 if you're trying to get the same size in a synthetic and a sable. You could do a 1, a 2, or a 4. Those
Charles,
are
what's going on?
The ones that we have in the 2.
Charles, I was going to bust out
styles.
and do a Signar model today. It really was. But I was foiled. So maybe tomorrow.
That's on me.
Papa Chicken. Yeah, it's just, so I just want to, you know, there's a lot of buzzwords that go around in the painting world that get people excited and things like that. And I don't want to curb your enthusiasm for any of those things that you find that you want to try. Doing the filtering, I think, is really good, but it'll always be frustrating if you don't kind of go in with an understanding of exactly how those work, and then as you apply the colors, you know, you'll see it in practice. So again, always do a test model. Don't work on a project that you're really stoked about. Like, don't grab your character model for your next Space Marines or whatever army you're about to play and like start saying, I want to paint with filters, or I want to paint, you know, with all these colors. Always start with a test model. You'll see Jordan and I do test models all the time. Jordan will pick an army, a model in his army. Sometimes we'll start with the character if it's something, you know, we're already comfortable as painters doing all these techniques. So we might start with the character where everything's really overwhelmingly detailed, so that we can figure out how to do the troopers that go fast. Or sometimes we'll start with the troopers if we're not really confident in the color scheme, and just blast it on there until we get a feel for it, and then go paint everything else. Same thing holds true no matter what technique you're using. Sergio Calvo will paint base coats and bold textures, then put filters over that, then add back in details and highlights. Well, that's the way all the Spanish painters paint typically. Not in the exact same way, but yeah, using the airbrush as a way to do filters of color back over very thin. That will also help smooth out some of your work so you can work faster. A totally different thing than what we're talking about here, I believe.
It's a very Spanish style.
Right. Don't know why you never realized that the pigments are CMYK. What do you mean? I mean, you can just basically create CMYK mixes from those pigments, because all the transparents are single pigments, so you can do whatever you want to. Don't have to feel bad about adding 5 colors into a mix. But all of our paints will work for that. You could take our blue, the bismuth yellow from Louise's set, right? Magenta. You can mix them however you want. It's a shame there's not an affordable test model you can just keep on your desk forever. I mean,
Starts with a T.
We make those.
And then another
And another
starts with
T.
another T.
We make those.
And you can find them on our website.
You got a couple Texas trainers, Flapjack? Nice. The Salamander will not be available until Nova, because this is the Nova, basically the Nova, annual Nova model for the Nova Open.
Pub Kobe said, "Where's the troll mini from?" Which one's
No trolls. That's Danav. He is a demon from Age of Angra, our card game. We're doing some...
miniatures not available yet.
Yeah, we call him 75 mil. He's actually almost 90 mil tall to the flame on his hand, because he has a dynamic base too. But they're kind of 75 mil-ish.
He's also just a large, imposing character in the universe.
Yeah, I think we'd call him like 1/10 scale or something like that. I'm doing these these polka dot. We found a really cool frog that had this polka dotted texture to its sclera.
I have to say, the eyes, they're amazing. But there's something about the eyes that make them cute.
Well, it's like when you look at some of these frogs and stuff,
Yeah.
it brings a cartoony sense to it because
Yeah.
it's not what we're used to looking at.
Right.
Plus, they're all big with no lids.
Exactly.
And then the lids fall all the way. It looks really cartoony as the lid covers the whole freaking
yes,
eye.
That's exactly what I was. Yes, exactly what I was seeing.
Jen thinks dinosaurs are
Right?
cute.
Vector,
Mo
awesome.
agrees. Mo gets it. Mo knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, I totally understand. I get what you're putting down.
You picking up what I'm putting down?
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm going to use some transparent yellow right now in that filtering sense that we were just talking about because that's the next step on these eyeballs.
Clarktron, thank you. That's where the trouble started. Those eyes. Those dang
What's
eyes.
that from? That sounds like a movie thing.
I don't know.
Oh, that's what I was going for. See, like on something like this, to get that type of stippling done with yellow would have been damn near impossible.
Okay, move over just a little bit. That's because now they're not as cute.
Right?
That totally changed it.
Doing that stippling with yellow would have not worked. So I did it with a bright, I forget what I was using. Maybe ivory, bright ivory? And by doing bright ivory, it's a much more opaque color. Gives me the stippling and control that I wanted. And then go back with the yellow over the top. And now I get the actual color I was looking for the eye. That makes Jen not like it anymore.
No, it still looks fantastic, but it took away that like cute cuddly, like, oh, it's going to be a cute dragon.
Why does the yellow make it look more evil?
I don't know. It's just something about the white that just made it so bright and like clean, maybe.
Oh, maybe so, yeah.
Or pure. That was transparent yellow, yes.
Yeah, transparent yellow.
Roby said, so pumped that one of my FLGS started to carry Pro Curl. Can't wait for the others to discover the greatness that is your paints. Thank you.
Nice.
What is the name of the store? And where is it located? It's a predator now instead of a new pet. Exactly.
Yeah, filtering is a great way to paint. Once you get used to them, you can use them for so many things. I mean, think about how we use washes, right? Like, you wouldn't really paint a whole model with washes, but it makes your painting of the model that much easier because you don't have to focus so much on what you do paint before the wash. Because the wash adds, like, what feels like 3 hours of painting to a model that you only spend 45 minutes on. Filters, that's all a wash is a filter, right? A wash is a filter that moves easier towards the low spots and brings all the pigment with it to the low spots. Transparent paints, you can add the glazed wash medium to them to turn them into washes, or just water like I did, and now they're just a really, really translucent paint. So it didn't flow into the crevices here, it just tinted the entire eyeball yellow, right? So it brings out that pop that I was looking for without me having to fight yellow in this case, right? If I were to do a filter of, I want to do a filter of kind of a bone color down the belly scales on him. I'll do that with the airbrush, right? But setting it up with these yellows first will pull it back into the body color as opposed to being some weird cartoon lizard that had orange scales and like bone colored belly. Because he doesn't really have scales here. They're not physically hard plates. It's just a different type of skin, right? So when you think about it, you have to think in terms of how what you've already painted will influence everything else you're trying to do, and then work backwards from there. Now I'm going to do something I don't ever do, which is paint with a lot of bold titanium white.
Pup Kobe also has a store, local store that's been carrying Pro Curl since last year. Awesome.
Very
Roby's
cool.
shopping at Harlequin Hobbies near Buffalo,
Buffalo.
which I assume is Buffalo, New York. not Buffalo, Minnesota.
And T. Schmidt, that's awesome. That's 100% of the problem. When people contact us and say that they are having problems with Pro-Curl being grainy, it is 100% too much water in the paint. They'll fight us the whole time, but that's the case. 100% of the time.
Is it Akneth? Is it AK? AK Neth Games or Akneth Games or Eneth Games, because maybe the K is silent. So I'm waiting for my FLGS to finally be able to get the most recent 3 signature sets. Such a long wait time. Might be working with a distributor. Much larger. Home of the chicken wing.
Chicken wing.
Buffalo, New York.
Home of the chicken wing.
Buffalo wings.
I love that in, I think it's actually Rochester or Syracuse, right? Somebody would have to help out there. They're called Buffalo wings, but there's like an ongoing fight, right? As with all of those things.
Like the Juicy Lucy.
Yeah. Like who made the Juicy Lucy.
Yeah.
But there's like an ongoing fight. It's like, I think it was like Syracuse or Rochester or something where the original restaurant was. But that could just be more propaganda.
Okay, I'm going to read this to you, but I know that you might also, both of you, want to read it yourself from Papa Chicken. My plan is to do a directional zenithal blend that's full of color, going from dark blue to purple to red to orange to ivory, and then hit the whole thing with transparent tan. I want it to read as tan, but have wild undercoat colors, kind of like Craft World Studios does with their undercoating, but with an airbrush. Is this a bad plan? How should I modify my approach?
So Craft World starts a lot, both of them, husband and wife, start with a bunch of magenta and jadey turquoisey colors as their base, but they don't do a lot of filtering. They paint more, I won't say they paint like I do, but we paint very similarly, and that we will use those undertones and then we will paint layers on top of those undertones. They paint with a lot of texture. So definitely doable. You want to do it with an airbrush, just look at what you want your base coat to be. Layering with an airbrush will not give you that same impact of your undertones because of the way it atomizes the paint and blends it layer to layer. So be careful with that. You can wind up covering things because of the amount of space each blast with the airbrush takes up, the amount of surface that you will cover. So just be careful as you go. Or go super thin. Again, the problem is, the reason why their painting looks so dramatic is because they're using opaque layering. They don't thin very much. So you get very neat textures and very neat interactions with their colors. If you try to do that with an airbrush, right, it's going to look a lot more blended. So just be aware of that as you go. Again, that's why a lot of the Spanish, what we'll call the Spanish technique, like Jordan was saying earlier, is that you'll do kind of heavier handed color application with a brush and then go back with the airbrush to even it out while also adding different hues in the shadows and midtones highlights.
Cool stuff.
I love that everybody's out there getting creative and thinking of these things, though. Taking that next step to do some other cool painting techniques.
Roby said that the Buffalo wings originated at the Anchor Bar in Buffalo, and the dispute is that there was another man that didn't get credit but was also from Buffalo.
Oh, gotcha.
Was he like a disgruntled partner? Like they pushed him out before the Buffalo wing became big?
I know.
Maybe this is it. Video game archaeologist said the dino having a round iris rather than a slit makes him look cute and derpy. I said he looked cute too. I said the eye looked cute. And Mo agreed.
Yeah, when I found it's a frog eye was the thing we found. This is an actual like eye that we found on a frog. Although it was reversed. It was black around the outside and jade with the iris. But I didn't it actually might not have even had a color to the iris. It might have been black and then had the yellow dots and halo around the iris. But I wanted to add a splash of color in the eye, so I did jade, knowing that when I put the yellow over it would give me a really good offset color to this orange and all the fire we're about to do, because we're about to do all of this in standard yellow, orange, red burning flame.
Panic Bomb said, as a Rochesterian, we may claim many things, but wings are not one.
I was
Do you
pretty
really call
sure
yourselves
somebody had told me either from Syracuse or from Rochester that they're really bummed that Buffalo got all the
credit.
Not Rochester, must have been Syracuse. Syracuse has an upside down traffic light. The only thing I remember.
Wait, what? Sounds awful.
No, it was Syracuse. They also had a restaurant that waffled everything. So those are the two things I remember about my time in Syracuse. That they have a traffic light, red, yellow, green, but it's green, yellow, red. Top down. And then near
You mean that all of theirs are like that?
Just one. It's just one at some particular intersection.
That they're known for?
Yeah.
Like people expect it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's got a funny name too, I think. I can't remember what it is. And then they had a restaurant. Now, granted, it's been probably since like 2016. I haven't been there since a very long time. But near the university, there was a restaurant that everything was a waffle. And it was so good.
Like in a waffle iron?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'd order a sandwich?
Uh-huh.
And it'd be in a waffle iron?
Yeah.
See?
I got it was so good. Mine was like a Thanksgiving dinner. So it was a
awesome.
stuffing waffle. And then it had like mashed potatoes on it and gravy. And
Oh, that's awesome.
it was so good.
What an interesting...
I just remember we had a waffle iron when we were in college, but that had been hand-me-down to my roommate. But we didn't, and that was the day where they came out with a little sandwich maker.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have that. We felt all put out. So we would use the waffle maker
Yeah. It worked. You can make a grilled cheese in a waffle iron.
to do the same thing, and it worked great.
Papa Chicken said, blended is what I'm going for. I don't want as painterly of a look as them. Would you suggest shooting transparent from below and transition to a more opaque color as there's more light? Trying to make sure it reads as tan, but has hints of something else underneath.
Well, you need to make sure that your base coat of color that you want to show through, whether that's magentas, whatever, right, is done in an opaque fashion, not transparent. And then you want to apply more transparency from your top coat colors in most cases. But again, there's a lot of ways to do that. If you remember how I did my Death Guard with that bruised white,
Yep.
with the purple and green and, jade undertones to those guys, they, I have some here, I think.
I'm thinking of even your Dante's wings.
And by the way,
Even more so.
sideways traffic lights, not unusual.
Yeah, that's true too.
Those are everywhere. This was one light and it was upside down. It was not sideways. Upside down.
Right? If you were here when I painted this, right, we started with dark purple, then we did some blues, some jades, we used yellow, warm yellow on here towards the outside, so we have all this color underneath, and it looked like a clown suit when I first painted the wings. Has some magenta, right, has all sorts of coloring and random aspects. It was almost like I just kind of hit them very, very quick. So it didn't make sense how the colors laid on here, other than the yellow was in the warmer spots where light would be hitting, and the cooler colors were in the shadows. But I didn't blend them or put a look really haphazard. And then we went back over it with transparent white, and then highlighted it with either ivory or white, I don't remember which, right, with the brush, like opaque style. And so this gives me a really good iridescence to the wings, and that's all painted exactly how you're talking. Right, but it was airbrushed with more opaque colors, right, or brush painted with opaque colors first, no transparency. And the transparency was the white put over in multiple layers, probably 3 or 4 layers of white over the top of the wings, right? So that they look like white wings, but they have this really cool iridescence to them as well.
This is what I'm interpreting Papa Chicken is saying he wants to do. Is this what?
That is what I'm interpreting as the goal as well. Which is why I mentioned it. This is the end effect I think that they're going for.
Yeah. So, and that it doesn't have to be white. It could be any color. But you want that, like, I wanted white wings. Everything other than white was painted very opaque, and the white was painted very transparent and built up layer by layer until it looked right, allowing only the amount of color from underneath to show through that I was happy with. Does that make sense? Tadpole, the bruised white is on our methodologies. So you can go and find the methodology for bruised white, and it shows you exactly how I did or tells you exactly how I did the Death Guard. The shot on the methodology is this guy right here. And it's done very similarly, right? This was just done with olive flesh being the white color and doing that very transparent over the top of, again, it was dark purple into jade, into light umber, and then the olive flesh done very, very thin over the top of that to build it up to where the white still showed through all the bruised, like, green from the jade and the purple.
And the methodology for that is in our Discord, right?
Yeah, it's everywhere everywhere methodologies can be found.
Everywhere methodologies can be found.
Yeah, and this was done
They're
just so
super
you could
easy
paint
to
an
find
army
in
real
Discord
quick.
or on our website. Did this Discord link need to be updated?
Oh.
Do we know?
Have somebody click the Discord. I don't know if anybody who's not on the Discord, click that Discord link and see if it still works. Gabe said it still works.
Okay.
It did not work for me, so I created a new one. But if it works, it works.
Not the best at applying a written guide.
Oh no.
Tried to watch the YouTube, but one of the 3 is missing.
I'm sure we'll do something like that again.
Link works. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
I'll probably do something similar on the Signar that I'm going to paint.
It's funny that you mention it. That color palette for that white is how I like to paint my Cricks, which is one of the things that
Cricks aren't white.
I like to have white Cricks.
Well, it's coming from the man that only does box art.
What? It's actually really funny.
That's the furthest step from Cricks in the whole world.
It's one of the few recipes that I really like altering. Like, I really liked doing that kind of like pale gray white armor with like cool, like really warm brown bases. Like earthy, like reds and things like that on the bases.
It's just an odd choice. It doesn't make them look evil at all.
They still have a bit of that evil look going on. It's a different sort of vibe.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same.
I can imagine.
There it is.
What's the matter?
Well, trying to find the drive.
For the challenge review?
Are we doing that today?
Yep.
Well, I don't know how to do it. I clicked studio and it.
We might need to call Chris in here. I don't know if you changed anything that would cause it to be a problem.
Email it.
Mother.
Awesome. Mother of Stranges said I just started using Pro Acryl and I'm so impressed with them. Also, my first time catching the stream.
Awesome.
Glad
Welcome.
that you could make
Welcome.
it. Mo, are you talking about what Jordan's painting right now? Because that is from Age of Angra.
Yep,
It's one
this
of the
is Danov
Danov.
from Age of Angra.
Mo's been ignoring us lately.
Guess so. Reviews today? Why do I have to have a meeting at 4? Maybe I can ignore the meeting. Maybe we can all
well,
ignore the meetings.
No? Mm-mm.
Disappointing.
I don't have a meeting at 4. Do I?
No,
No,
Name Delay
somebody else
does.
does. Yeah.
Game Delay does. Mother of Strangers said you're amazing painters. I'm hoping to pick up some skills by osmosis. You will have to practice a little bit, but watching them definitely helps. Mo, so have we. They've all been at Gen Con. We have not streamed since last Wednesday.
Yeah, Mother, always feel free to ask any questions you've got. There's no such thing as noob questions here. Our real goal with the stream is to make people comfortable in their painting, regardless of what skill level you are. So if you ever have anything you don't quite understand or want to question what we're doing, feel free to ask. We will stop and in most cases can give you some sort of a explanation. Sometimes we don't know what we're doing.
The worst question is the unasked question. I agree with you. Acneth Games. Doing some dark lines around all the bits and bobs of this fun little skull thingamabob on the shoulder pad.
Chuck, you've been slacking.
Delay said that I spoke his heart out loud. Maybe we can ignore all the meetings. No? Disappointing. Bicephalo said, greetings, how did you do on Gen Con? Hopefully it was amazing.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Gen Con's always a great show. It's a little slow this year. We were talking about it at lunch today, trying to figure out, like, none of the companies there had any really big announcements. So there just was a lack of energy, I think. But it was great at the booth, getting to hang out with everybody that stops by. What's the matter?
Be the presentation.
Hi, chat.
Hi, Gabe.
Gabe's back.
Hi.
Gabe is in fact also back.
Right, go there, right? Okay.
You can probably go to the chat I have with you. Yeah. Because the studio is
Right.
Has all been resolved?
No,
Oh.
not at
oh,
all.
Bummer.
Because now we're just logged in as me, which was we were trying to avoid being
Oh,
logged in as
yeah,
someone else.
okay.
So.
That's fair.
Alice in Wonderland Nightmare set from Weird.
Oh, that's cool.
It makes some fun of the special release sets.
Yeah, their special release sets are always kind of neat. They do a lot of really fun themed sets for Gen Con releases. They do a couple of holiday releases as well that are kind of fun.
I just wish that game would have caught on better.
Yeah, I think the game is fairly complicated just to learn.
They have overcomplicated it along the way.
Yeah.
But at its base level, it's pretty easy. If you don't worry about playing any of the scenario stuff and you just go out and fight to teach people, is a lot of fun.
Mhm.
It's when you start getting into more and more of the scenario play that it can get kind of restrictive. And
Lots of tokens. That's what I remember from playing that game. All sorts of markers on the table.
has that infinity vibe.
I don't know if I would agree with that. I don't feel like Infinity had that many markers on the table. Well, actually, that's
What?
well, because
What infinity are you playing?
I mean, they're like camo markers and stuff. But like, unless you're taking a dedicated like camo marker army, you don't have a ton of just like random markers out there. The scheme markers you just get like bumped on the board when you're playing Malifaux. They're all over the place because everybody does that. How you win, for the most part. Some people don't care.
Put this at the Hoosier said, I highly recommend visiting Alaska if you get the chance. Did you do the cruise? I feel like, yes, you took the Alaskan cruise, right?
I have done an Alaskan cruise.
Have you?
Yeah.
Did you love it?
It was great.
Was it amazing?
It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
I know a bunch of people who have, and their pictures are incredible.
It was a long time ago, but yes.
Yeah.
They take you like right up to the glaciers. And
Yeah.
It's really pretty up there. Stopped in Juneau for a little bit. It was one of those like 3 or 4 day cruises. It was like a weekend type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's really all you need for
Yeah.
that kind of cruise. Like,
Yeah.
It's not a particularly far away that you have to go.
As much as I would love to see that, I don't love the idea of being on a boat that long.
For 3 or 4 days?
Or anything.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't love boats.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess that makes that more difficult.
And also just the feeling of like you're stuck there. Like you are on that boat.
Yeah, I can understand that. That's not something that's ever really bothered me personally, but
I mean, cruising is very popular, so
Yeah.
I know it's unusual.
Not so much these days.
yeah, not as much.
It's coming back. Okran wants to know if Jordan, if you are outlining it to make it appear more like the card art.
No, I'm doing it so that I get better contrast between the elements. I'm gonna go back and clean it up afterwards as I go. It just helps make everything feel a little bit more separated.
Spatsnut did the Alaskan cruise. Don't go on the first voyage of the season. Waters are so rough that the cruise staff were getting seasick. Oh, heck no.
jeez. Chen's like, nope.
Just reading
Not
the words
doing that.
seasick make me queasy.
Oh gosh.
Like that's how seasick I get.
I would not advise you to go on any
I've been on a
voyages.
cruise. I went on just a little, like a booze cruise, like the Baja Ensenada.
Yeah.
And it
I
was
have to
fine.
admit,
I
with
didn't have any
the
problems with it.
decline in the level of service in almost all
Yeah.
things these days, the last thing I would want to do is be on a boat where the quality of service has to be in the nines all the time for things like well, I don't know, water filtration kind of important. And yet there have been all these cruises where everybody gets super sick from...
Papa Chicken, number one repellent for me on a cruise, norovirus outbreaks.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which I don't think that they happen very often, but when they do, it's on the news, you know, and I think that's enough to, you know, discourage a lot of people from...
Been a tremendous amount
cruising.
of waterborne sickness on cruises lately.
Jordan was in Seattle, right? If you get on a boat and don't pay attention, you're on an Alaskan cruise.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing, right? I left from Seattle, and turns out you blink and then you're in Alaska.
All those Canadian pirates.
Game delay, have I hurt you in some way? Why would you suggest this? Game delay said we should go on a cruise to see some birds. Like a bird cruise. That sounds terrible.
This is par for the course for Game Delay.
In the past, you've traveled to Indy for Gen Con with a buddy who gets seriously motion sick. He has to take so much Dramamine, it's like he's drunk. Now, I will say that a lot, like, there's a big part of motion sickness that is mental. And as someone who gets motion sick sometimes just from walking around my house,
Wait, oh, jeez.
I can say this, right? It's not it's just all in your head. It really is. I can talk myself out of it. But it also comes on very, very quickly.
Yeah, like rapid wave of nausea is just...
It's
Ooh,
terrible.
that is one of the worst feelings.
Didn't go on a glass bottom catamaran in Mallorca because your wife and child are very easily sick. Those catamarans are maybe the worst. This guy is mental, that's for sure. There's a cool Mythbusters episode on seasickness. Fun stuff to check out. Interesting. Did they say that it is a myth?
They're probably talking about more like ways to deal with it that are like...
It's definitely not a myth. You have ear imbalances.
Sure.
Like, that's what mine is.
Well, so
I cannot
vertigo...
be in motion to where my inner ear thinks I'm in motion, and my eyes do not visualize motion.
Vertigo is a little bit different, because I've had vertigo from, like, you know, when you get sick, you get vertigo, and that's that dizziness it's the pressure and the equilibrium in between your ears. The motion sickness is different. I think it's a lot related to my eyes.
Eyes and ears.
They did a placebo. The fake med worked. It was all in the person's head. There you go.
It's all fake. The world is an illusion.
Birds aren't real.
Birds aren't real. Well, we knew that. That's factual knowledge.
Here we go. Right back to everything is dirt.
I mean, you did start that one.
Catamarans are really the worst. Because they're so flat, I think. They also had stuff that actually worked medically for meds, so inconclusive. Yeah. Well, yeah, because there's that Antarctica, like when you go to Antarctica, there's that Drake's Passage, I think is what it's called. And it's like the most aggressively choppy waters anywhere in the world. And people get prescription medication that just knocks them out when they go through that part. So there is definitely some hardcore medication that what time do you think we need to start the review?
Probably... can you scroll down to the end on that, just so I can see how long it is?
Give her like 20. 34.
Probably pretty soon. I would say 3:10.
Sapo wants to know if the Pro-Acryl metallics are made with synthetic materials or actual metal flakes.
They're made with mica.
That's where Godzilla hides.
The only thing you're really going to see is metal flake. I mean, I'm sure there's some weird, stuff out there, but it's either going to be mica or aluminum. But aluminum has the problem of not being able to do a tremendous amount of colors and maintain quality. So mica gives us the ability to do any color we want.
Curious what aspect of aluminum causes that to be the case.
Well, because it's a white metal, and so in order to get it to turn a color, you have to anodize it. You can't anodize it and put it in a suspension all the time, so.
There you go.
Whereas mica can be colored. You'll find aluminum mostly in like silver and platinum colors, things like that. There are anodized aluminum powders, but they can't all be used in waterborne suspensions. And they also don't give you very good coloration when looking for metallic paint. They look very anodized, right? Like fake metal color. So your golds look like brass, right?
4P Bacon said, Jason, thank you for the kind words on my cheapo paint rack. It made my day when I read it.
Huh. I love people's organizational tools. I don't ever look at what it costs.
You have a creative, like, were you really resourceful and innovative and made your own paint rack? Because I think that's awesome.
Like with aluminum, it was always the fight when I was doing motorcycles to find something that was lightweight, right? So aluminum is the first choice. You can make anything out of a big chunk of billet aluminum. But if you wanted that thing to be colored, it was always a pain. Because anodized aluminum, in order to keep it looking good for a long time, never looked as good as powder coated steel. Always just looked fake. Aluminum flake will have way more opacity, whereas mica has a translucence to it. When you use aluminum flake, you're kind of stuck with one color.
Interesting.
Mica, you can mix a bunch of colors together, get some really neat things going on. And I mean, all of this is 50,000 foot conversation. You can do anything, but the way it looks is going to be subjective, and we don't like the way it turns out.
It was made from dollar store foam core and hot glue. Well, that's awesome.
There you go.
Paint rack of paint racks. Very budget. My paint organization is in shambles after my vacation. It's how my apartment largely feels.
I've seen a lot of people make paint racks out of like cardboard boxes.
Yeah, it works.
Taped
Great.
together. Do what works.
Hey, face masher.
We had that rack years ago in the studio that was just a bunch of old wood I found in the garage
Yup.
and some PVC pipe
Oh,
for
I
the
didn't even
tubes
have
that the paint goes in. 1-inch PVC pipe. You just slide the bottles in.
I just had like a 3-tier thing of like 2x4 attached to itself at different levels. Used that for a long time. Worked just fine. Just didn't have any specific holes for any of the paint bottles. Just kind of.
I just sat them on it like shelves.
Yeah. Oh, it worked good. Easy enough to find stuff. We got motion sickness medication for our son. He got knocked out for the rest of the day.
I mean, yeah, it makes you
Jeez.
like even Dramamine makes you tired.
Oh, wow.
Really? I've never taken any of that stuff. I've never had a problem with it as long as I don't try to fool my eyes into the fact we're not moving. I just can't read while I'm driving, or not while I'm driving, but while I'm in the car.
Please don't read while you're driving.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I couldn't. As a kid, my mom would stuff a comic book in front of my face, and they'd have to pull over. I'd puke.
No, I when I was a kid, so when I was really little, I would get car sick. And then I kind of grew out of it. And for a really long time, I didn't have a problem. And we would go every year. I would drive with my grandparents up to Minnesota for the summer. And I would just get in the back with books and I would just lay down and read the entire trip from Arizona to Minnesota. And didn't have never had problems. So I don't know.
I've never been able to do that.
Yeah, it's
this
weird.
day. I can fight back the nausea feeling better as an adult than I could as a kid, but I still can't do anything like that.
All right. Is going?
It's time.
Uh-oh. Right when I'm going to go airbrush.
Bear with me. I don't remember how to do this. Go to slideshow first, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have instructions. Go to whip here. Courses here.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing this on purpose, so we can't come over here and do this. Ha-ha!
No, how did you get past my
This one?
traps?
See? He's even asked how I got past his traps.
That was however you got past that.
La 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 la.
All right, here we go. So every month, for those of you who maybe just met the crew at Gen Con, just discovered our stream, we do every month in our Discord a painting challenge where usually Jordan will come up with a prompt of some sort and he'll post the instructions, and then you have a month to paint and enter the challenge. And it's for all levels of painters. You don't have to be a professional. You could be your first time ever painting anything and you like the challenge and you can enter it. And we do some small prizes for very informal competition.
My entry for this month didn't get past priming.
Well,
fair.
sometimes that happens. It's okay.
It does happen.
What was this
Tangent.
month's?
This month is OSL.
So the specific prompt was to utilize object source lighting as the primary light source in the environment that your miniature is painted in.
Whoa.
Now, that's a little bit more complicated. I'm not going to ding people too much if it's not quite 100% correct.
So what are we specifically looking for?
We're looking for a light source, like this lamp on the
Yep.
ground.
Mm-hmm.
And judging by what he just said, you're looking to see if that would be, think of it as that's the only light in the cave,
Correct.
Oh,
right?
Same, yeah. That's it.
well.
Which is a
Do
tough
a lot
one.
of
This
dark,
is a really hard
enters.
ask because
Yeah.
we're so used to painting as if things are outside or with a standard overhead light, and you can't do that, right?
They don't
So like this
come
guy
so much.
here isn't quite dark enough on the top of his head, back of the
Yeah.
cloak,
Yep.
areas like that to pull it off. But that light is amazing. Especially the shadow running up the leg from what I assume is the other bar in front of the lens.
It's yes. It's one of those things where it's a really complicated and a little bit more difficult challenge than normal, but at least it gets people thinking. And even if it's not 100%, we get people trying stuff, which is great.
Just remember who did this to you, chat.
Y'all can blame me if you want. Just remember I love you all.
Just remember who did this to you, chat.
Just remember I love you all. Don't forget the color specific challenge from, what was it, a month ago?
I
I think it was a month ago.
It was the one right before this.
It was the one right before this.
That one was easy.
Don't worry, we'll give you an easy one for next month. Maybe.
All right. Cool. So there's just a random hand laying on the ground here, which I know has nothing to do with the.
Yeah, he's like a grave digger.
It's pretty cool.
Makes sense. Hobby bot. This is a good example of kind of what we were looking for, right? I can't tell if...
It's so hard because the background's white. It makes it hard
Right?
to,
Yeah.
get the. It's like it's really bright there.
I feel like I should have painted an example for this one so that people could get an idea of what we were looking for. But that's also kind of cheating.
Yeah, examples are tough because
Then
people
they
try
get
and
it.
replicate what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not what we want. I like this a lot. I think you've got some nice darkness in the back side of this model. And some pretty intense lighting on the front side, which is great. Yeah, I really like it. I think you could have gone like Jason was saying in the previous one as well. Could have gone quite a bit darker in the darker areas of the model. But I like it.
Cute.
This one is very cool. I like this model a lot. It's really neat. The star
That's great.
on the face. The eyeballs are
Yeah,
really
it's a
fun.
Yeah.
Neat model, too. Not as neat as Percival, but it's neat.
Yeah.
It's kind of in that vein, though.
It's very Percival-esque. Is it the same
Oh no, it's not from the same.
company or whatever?
Mm-mm. This is an anthropomorphized owl.
Ooh, this was neat.
Yep. So we got a lot of
This is
these,
really great
a lot
lighting.
of the like multiple light source situations going on.
Oh, really nice.
I really like the cool side of this on the back side.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice. That lamp also looks really good. The brightness of the lamp.
Yeah. Especially in
Is.
that middle picture, you can really see.
Yeah.
Like, it really looks like there's a light on it there.
Yeah, I really like the lamp on this a lot. And the lighting on it I think is really solid. Wood smash!
Whoop, smash.
There weren't any pictures of the back of this model. But this is great if you're like imagining the flamethrower just completely obliterating
Okay, so
all of
that-
the environment in really
So
bright
basically,
light.
the idea on this one is that the flame is in front and like his whole.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
the whole front of this model
Yeah.
is just bathed in light from the fire.
Like a big explosion in a movie.
I actually really like the light application on this a lot. I think it certainly sells the visual of like I just sprayed a whole bunch of fire all over
well,
the place.
his face even looks like that.
Yeah.
Like the environment
I
is
just-
ablaze.
Yep.
I just am setting stuff on fire.
Game delay, as always,
Okay.
doing a whole lot of crazy stuff. I don't know if you got to see this in person at all.
Uh-huh,
Jason,
yep, he
but
showed it to me
It
at
was
the
super
show.
fun.
Oh,
I
did you
never
run
heard
this
from
to
him
Gen Con?
if it won anything. Did it place?
Oh yeah, Game Delay. Oh, I think Game Delay said that they were. He was leaving. Game Delay, you here?
Was this an entry for a painting competition at Gen Con?
Yeah. Well, a lot of these. Well, there were a lot of
The blue hair punk.
There were a lot of community members from our Discord and from chat who submitted stuff for the painting competition, and the vast majority of them all medaled.
Nice.
Yeah, which is awesome. I love seeing, all of our community members participating in that sort of stuff and doing really well. It's
Were
great.
there multiple competitions, or was there just one? I don't know.
Just,
what they have
so
there.
the way that they judge those competitions is you get multiple silvers and multiple bronzes per each category.
But is it like one
golds.
big Gen Con painting competition, or
Yes.
are there small competitions?
No,
it's
it's
one
one
big
one
Gen Con
big
one.
competition.
Yeah. With like 10 different categories. And then each category will have some number of.
Is this the Lin thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Game Delay said got a bronze ribbon.
Very cool.
Yeah, this one's cool. I like it.
This is really cool. I liked this one a lot. I definitely
Oh,
think.
I see. It's like the headlights
Yeah.
of the car.
Yup.
Oh.
With it's kind of like
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
really
that's
really nice cast
Oh,
shadow.
that's an orc.
on, yeah. I love the cast shadow on the wall.
Yeah.
I think that looks really
that looks
solid.
good. Well, even
Um,
there's like a shadow even on the
The bottles.
here.
Yep.
That's awesome. This one taught me a lot about lighting without doing the typical OSL.
Yeah. It's a weird thing, right? Because we kind of take for granted that we all paint with a very natural kind of light source that's coming from the top and from like with natural sunlight or
I want to see
moonlight.
this one
things
with
like
the
that.
black background.
Right?
I
Yeah.
just want to see it sitting with like nothing behind it, just black.
I think this one you definitely could have pushed the contrast between the darkness on the back of the coach. Maybe do some like cool backup lights, or like brake lights, and then have the light be that much more contrasty. But as is, I think it looks great.
Yeah, no, this one's fun.
This was really cool.
I like it.
Relax Studio
Relax Studios, Re-Relax.
went and did a lot of work on
and then
this.
You re-relax.
Re-relax. How do you re-relax?
You do it again.
I mean,
Can you
I
re-relax?
re-relax
You do it a
all
lot
the
of
time.
times.
I get I get relaxed, and then something stresses me out, and then I have to re-relax.
Okay.
You gotta
yeah,
re-relax.
yeah. Okay. I like it. I like
the
it.
colors,
This is sweet.
Obviously.
There's a lot of the glow on this. It tends to be a lot more subtle because of
Is
the
it supposed to be from the bottom?
it's similar in color. So it's supposed to be from the bottom and from the sword. So
This
you can
stuff
see
right
this.
here?
Yeah. So you
And
can
then
see
the
the
sword
sword is
too.
also casting some light from those kind of the middle of it.
Oh, right here.
No, the sword is coming out of
Oh, I
the
see
left
the
hand.
sword. This sword? Oh, right up here.
Yeah. See, it's got that pink in the middle
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
cast some light
Okay, I see.
on like the jaw and the
Oh, yeah,
chest.
that other
and, like-
thing's not a sword.
Yeah.
Okay. Re-relaxing sounds right, yeah. I get relaxed after the kids go to bed, then my daughter asks for a cup of water, then I have to re-relax.
This looks like it was
I
a lot
love
of
it.
work.
This looks like it was a lot of work.
Yeah. There's a lot of work to
This
get
looks
done in
like
a
a
month.
big model for 1 month.
Yeah, this is not
Well,
a small model.
That was really good just from the standpoint of the only light source is the stuff that's supposed to be creating the light in the scene,
Yeah.
because it leaves a lot of darkness and desaturation to all the parts
Yeah, no,
that
I see that
go
now.
away from the
I
light.
was missing the whole, this right here.
A lot of people are afraid to do this type of thing because it leaves a lot of your model feeling like you didn't really paint it,
Yeah.
right?
Very
Because
true.
what's in darkness is in darkness for a specific reason, but forgetting that the storytelling of it takes over for that part of the model. It may look like it's not quite done, right? The fact that you've got this real dynamic light, I think, works well on this one especially.
And yeah,
Big angry.
Dubu Babu, pre-relaxing sounds like the way to go.
Pre-relaxed
Yeah.
sounds great.
Pre-relax time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some pre-relax moments.
This is another great example of kind of that lighting of the entire scene being dominated by that one source of light. Also,
I like this one. And it
Dragon Ball
helps
Z.
that it's black.
that's like pretty cool. But I also grew up
Not
in the
my
90s.
age.
I grew up in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm a Dragon Ball Z boy.
I have no idea what this even is.
It's a It's an anime character shooting an energy blast out of its hand.
I've
I
heard
get
of
it.
because I used to be a teacher. That's the only thing I know.
Sipoko
Sipoko.
with the underglow from the lava.
Oh, very cool.
Very cool. Really nice high contrast between the,
It's hard to photo this stuff, right?
especially on a Gene Stealer.
Yeah.
Like, these models are so weird. Like the Gene Stealers are so, they're kind of like all over the place. So it's like you never know how to photograph it.
The Papa Chicken, I don't get that, but maybe Jordan will.
What?
How many Dragon Ball Z characters does it take to change a light bulb? Just one, but it will take 16 episodes.
100% know exactly what you're talking about.
What did it say?
How many Dragon Ball Z characters does it take to change a light bulb? Just one, but it will take 16 episodes.
Oh, because nothing ever gets done in the show?
No, you, like, okay, so there's
Is it
like a meme.
reading
I don't need to
Twilight,
know.
Where it's like too much
I don't really
extra
need to know.
stuff?
One character screams for like 4 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
And nothing happens. Except this guy screaming for 4 episodes.
That's
Great.
annoying.
It
That
is.
sounds right up Jen's alley. I'm going to load it up for you and show you when we get home, babe.
Yeah,
Oh, look
and
at
15
T-Schmidt.
of those episodes will just be power up yelling.
You should have even said that. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good.
I won't ask anymore.
Hey, cat.
T-Cat.
I like this one.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Oh, yeah.
I like the base. I kind of
The
want to like
base is
get some more
really neat.
photos of the base. The base is like really rad.
The base is really neat.
I know there's also a really cool dragon in this picture, but also the base is really cool.
The base is cool. It is. It almost looks like the. What is this?
I don't know.
Is that coming out of a
It looks like a lamp, right? Like a genie lamp.
standing on a urn?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal with that is, but this is very cool.
I like this one.
I like it a lot. Ghoul Studio. Nice. I like the little bit of
What is
like,
that?
I'm not sure
Some
what
kinda
it is.
sea
It's kind of creepy looking.
It's something like. that
It's an
isn't
alien.
underwater.
Definitely an alien.
Is it? It looks like a
It could be a fish man because it looks like water.
Oh, yeah.
Very
you kinda
aquatic.
get a
He's
little
got
bit-
like the reflection of water.
And he's got
going
like
on.
fins
Oh, yeah.
back here.
Oh, he kind of does have a little bit of fins going on.
I like this.
I like it.
The water reflection on the front is really cool.
Yeah, the water reflection is very cool.
Nice, Ghoul Studio. Bakamaru. This model is so much fun.
Is it?
Rat boy.
Rat Boy.
Okay, I was gonna say it looks kind of like a rat face.
Yeah, it's a rat.
Definitely dominated by that kind of like green glow. Again, never be afraid to push the darkness on the top of the model if you have underglow happening.
So is
Especially
it,
if it's
okay,
the
wait.
only source of light.
So it's here,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's all this glowing up.
Yeah, you can kind of see on like
can
the
see that
underside of the tail, the underside of the staff. There's a lot of that green glow coming in.
Ooh.
This is really rad.
Like the literal, they took the cave thing literally.
Yeah.
What are Ewok?
Lightsaber, yeah.
Those are
Ewoks.
Ewoks.
Yeah, this one's really cool.
This is good. I like this one.
This definitely like captured exactly the feel
Yeah.
that we were looking for with the challenge, which is awesome.
Just remember that the light source will always be brightest towards the source.
Yep.
It will never be as bright anywhere else unless it hits a highly reflective surface.
Yep.
Right? So in this case, the lightsaber should be the de facto brightest thing in the scene. The only thing that's throwing me is that bright spot on the rock right
Yeah.
beneath the Ewoks
Yeah.
is the brightest thing in the scene when you're looking at it. The top-down photo is super bitchin'.
Yeah.
Right,
That's
because
so
notice
cool.
how here the brightest thing is the lightsaber,
This-
and everything else, yeah, that's a great shot.
Yep.
The other shots lose that because of that bright spot at the front of the rock.
It's cool.
So just remember, tone everything down and build up slowly, and stop before you match the brightness of whatever's giving off the light, whether it's a lamp or a lightsaber or whatever. But great job on this one.
Yeah.
That top-down photo wins. That's
Yeah,
great.
This is.
Yeah,
this
Tubu
is
Babu.
cool.
Yeah, I keep looking at that too.
Well, yeah, and that's why I say most of the time you know it once we call it out, right? And it's
Yeah.
not, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just that when you do a light, your eye is drawn to the highest point of contrast in everything you look at, period. That's just the way the human brain looks, because that's where the interest is. That's why when we bring a lot of contrast and brightness, we paint towards the parts of the model that are going to be the interest points, putting a lot of brightness and contrast on the face, if that's the interest point, the glowy weapon, if that's where you want people to look. So always make sure that you bring that brightness in, because that rule stays true for OSL too. You can fake it and even bring the light of everything else down. You just got to remember there's a scale of the brighter the light source is, like a lightsaber should be pretty bright, I would think. So it's going to throw more light further. So it's going to shed that color, in this case, that kind of green glow. It's going to put that green glow out further if it's brighter, but none of that distance will be as bright as the lightsaber itself, except for like maybe right at where it's glowing on hands that are super close. You could probably get away with that.
Welcome, Raiders.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Thank you all. I think from Brannigan's brushes.
I believe so.
Brannigan's.
We're not seeing that.
I'm seeing Brannigan in here.
I see Brannigan right here. That's why I assume it was.
And I'm seeing some Brannigan emotes in chat. So
welcome. We are reviewing the entries from our July Discord challenge. We do a painting. Yes, thank you, Brannigan. We do a painting challenge every month in our Discord, and at the end of the month, well, actually, the beginning of the following month, we take some time and review all the entries. And last month's challenge was to create some OSL. We are about halfway through our review. 4 pig bacon.
4 pig bacon. I like this too.
Aww.
2 really big sources of light from the light emitting things on these little creepy fish guys. Kind of going back to what Jason was talking about in his previous statement, the brightest source of light should be the brightest thing in your environment. So those little I forget what they're called, but the little things that hang down.
Phosphorescence.
Yeah, those should definitely be
The lures, the phosphorescent
there
lure.
we go. The lures should be the brightest thing in the photo, and then everything else should be brighter as it is closer to the object, and then darker as it fades further away, or is broken away from the light by something interrupting it. But very cool. I like the contrast between the blue and the green. Very neat. These little critters are really cool.
The picture on the right makes it look like the blue one is pushing the green one off the hill.
The blue one's pushing the green one off
Yeah.
the cliff. I love it.
Just because of the way, I mean, clearly that's not what's happening because I can see the left picture, but just because of the way they're placed, the angle of the picture. Doodly boppers.
Doodly boppers, the official term. I like it.
I like it. I will
Lord
go with
of
that.
Brunch.
Lord of Brunch.
This one's cool.
Cool vampire-esque lady with armor and swords and stuff.
These are the light source? Is that what
Looks
I'm
like
seeing?
it, yeah.
I like it. What
Could
is
be
this?
maybe a
What
bigger
is
fire in
this?
front, but I think the intention is for the light to be from the candlelight.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
What is happening right here? What is
Blood.
Oh, okay. That's what I was
Yeah, it
wondering.
looks like it almost,
Cool
right?
blood. Yeah.
Oh, with
assuming
bats around
so.
it?
Yeah.
Very cool.
One thing to think about in the future for like candlelight is even in a really dark environment, candlelight is a pretty soft light, so it doesn't illuminate very much. Especially if you're having all this cool light coming from behind, from like the moon, or I would assume the moon. It will definitely drown out that candlelight pretty significantly. If you're ever kind of curious, you go out on like a moonlit night and you like light a candle up, and you'll see that the candle will illuminate a little bit of area, maybe, I don't know, 8 to 10 inches out. But as it's very soft, it tends to get overwhelmed by the sun reflecting off of the moon, reflecting onto the earth.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Moonlight.
No way.
No way. Bean counter.
Who's that guy?
This I like. This is cool. I don't know who this
That's
is,
neat.
but this is a cool model. And I like the
That
OSL
needs some
going on here.
fire. Yeah, this one's cool.
Yeah. It's funny because I really wish that this was on like a black or white background.
See?
Because I feel like I'm missing some of the paintwork here
Yeah.
because the ambient light in the environment is really similar to the color of the OSL.
That's what I was saying about
Just
the Gene Stealer.
really hard
when
to
you're
get.
when you're photoing
What
OSL, you really got to do it on
That's
black
what a few,
background.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this is cool because I can definitely see.
You can definitely see
Yeah.
that there's yeah.
Yeah, and the painting on this is fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. This looks really good.
It was hard to photograph, yeah. Ooh, this one's neat too.
Oh, I like this. This is very cool. I like the light being illuminated from the thing in the staff from the wizard, and the kind of internal glow coming from the little specter. All green, very cool. Oak Wren, the lightning flash. Definitely one of those situations you can push the bright and darkness a lot harder. Again, with the thing that people were talking about with it being really hard to light these sort of photos. Definitely black background is going to be your best bet, and trying to give a lot of light from all angles so that we can see the painted in darkness versus the painted in light. You want to eliminate natural shadows from the light from your photography. So you want to make it as well lit as possible without really adding a ton of light and brightness to the model.
Varian.
I really like this. I'm not sure if
It's kind of like the flamethrower one. I like this.
Yeah, it's tough because my brain hurts when I look at this one.
Is it another one where we're seeing the light is from somewhere else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the gun
Yeah.
has hit something,
Right.
and like everything in front of him is burning. Is the feel
Yeah.
I get?
Yeah,
From
Like the
for sure.
like the other one that we were.
You can absolutely. You got the you got it. I like it a lot. I like the OSL on the gun and the leg and the skin is really
It's a really
cool.
good ambient environmental light. Because remember, OSL doesn't have to be from something on the model.
Oh yeah,
It can be
off-screen.
from something in the environment, like the lava lit gene stealer, right? It wasn't like he was carrying a lamp. Same effect needed.
Yeah, you can tell the story of what is happening with the lighting without the thing being present on the model. And that's a really cool way to try and challenge yourself to come up with a cool way of conveying that story.
Yeah, because think about it. Most of the miniatures that we do don't have anything that tells us about where they're at. Maybe the way you base it, right? If you put snow on the base, we know he's outside in the snow, right? But we don't get a whole lot of the story about the environment they're in, other than the base. So by simply putting a light in there, you can tell a lot of story, especially in something like this where it's supposed to be the only source of light.
Yep.
Because that's going to immediately put you into nighttime, dark cave, unlit room.
Well, this one, I feel like this one
This is great.
works
This,
really well.
this is a
Yeah.
great example
It's
of what we were looking
Definitely
for. right?
darker on the.
Yeah, we
It's like the
lose.
whole model's
Notice how
super
all
dark.
the color is very desaturated, so
Yep.
you almost can't tell. Now he may
But-
be wearing a black leather coat like we know Red Skull does, but look at the back of his head. We don't get a whole lot of the color on Skull. We just get the blue of the illumination from the cube, and that's exactly what you'd be looking at.
Yep.
That blue light would almost obscure the color of everything around it. Everything would
Correct.
be a hint of its color, and then blue.
Zombie with all sorts of crazy OSL going on. You got the green from the eyes, the green from the book, the magenta pink from the staff, and then the red from the bottle on the back, and then the ambient light from the blue on the back of the. This is crazy. Very colorful.
Yes,
I like
love
it.
The colors. Love the colors. Zombie 2.
This one's cool. The
She fancy.
This one definitely has the illumination on it. It's tough to see from the photography, but you can definitely tell when you look at like the right side of the face versus the left side of the face. You can see that darkness kind of coming in.
Right here, yeah. This
Yep.
shadows. Here.
Which is, I mean, this is a very cool model too.
I like her stance.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually really like the eyes on that model. They're very cool.
What? Who's
McSalty
that?
painting a texture trainer. Somebody wanted extra credit.
Glowing
Buying their way
mushroom.
into our hearts right there, chat. Careful.
I like the glow from the skull and the mushroom on the face. Got a little bit of glow coming out of the eyes on the little demon guy.
Thank you for that sub.
Got subs.
Our,
Give him the extra
our
credit.
notifications are covered up right now by the challenge review. So thank you.
Oh, also, worth noting, I think this is the first time we've seen a texture trainer used for Discord challenge.
I think so.
I can't remember one.
For the challenge?
Yeah. I
Maybe?
want
I
to say
think
this
it
is the
is.
first one I've seen for a Discord challenge.
Maybe.
This is very cool.
Chat will correct us if we're wrong.
Oh.
Oh.
This is cool.
I like just the attitude of this one.
Yeah, this is real neat.
Yeah, and again, perfect. We have two light sources, but it's really, really evident that they are, the two in a dark alley, right?
Yep.
The bar sign is awesome.
That is cool.
Rocco Stone.
Yeah, this is great.
The lenses on the glasses. Super cool.
Great jorb.
I like that one a lot. Ooh,
Tekka.
that's
Oh,
neat. See,
okay.
there you can tell. Look how
Yeah.
different it looks in the picture with the black
It's true.
background.
It's really true.
It looks so much different.
Yep. Yep, and that's a great way to show it when you do both, because you can show how you painted it and what that effect has in the environment when you set it into that.
Totally.
This is a crazy scene.
You know what? One of my favorite things is about this paint
Lens.
job is the subtle blue light on the
Yeah.
back of the skulls.
Yeah.
Is really, really, really nice.
All this right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great job.
Great job, Tech
Very
Elf.
nice.
Paint liquor. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
it's paint liquor.
This model is wild.
This
I've
is
painted one of these
great.
before.
Awesome. This is one of the Kingdom Death.
Yeah, this is the Gold Smoke Night.
Signature paint liquor hot pink.
Oh yeah, paint liquor signature hot pink.
Yeah.
This looks great.
I give him no credit until I see plaid.
Yeah, where's all the plaid paint liquor? What the heck?
Hypocrite.
Oh geez, this is cool.
What is that?
It's like a
This weird
like a skeleton being
soul,
raised from the
skeleton
dead.
soul.
You got like some cool magic stuff. I actually really like this. Good
Paint
OSL
liquor likes hot
on,
pink? What?
on the dude.
I like the model.
Who knew?
Yeah, the model's really cool. I don't know where this is from. This is really neat.
Just rando D&D necromancer.
General Ginkgo
Oh,
with the
this one's
candle in the photo. This is really
Mhm.
cool.
What is it? Was there another picture that's showing something right here? And why it's lit right here? Or is it something? Whatever he's opening in this right here.
It shouldn't be because that's just the. It's like an accordion air pump thing.
Yeah.
Oh, like a bellows
Yeah, like bellows.
for his gun. Yeah. Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Oh, there's paint liquor. Said I'll paint plaid in a challenge when I find a worthy model.
Oh dang! All right.
Oh, it's on us? No, that's on you too.
That's on you. You could make it in every month. You could paint plaid in almost every challenge.
Yeah, the desaturation on the non-lit parts on this is that makes it definitely feel like those are the only parts that are able to be seen. Oh, this is neat.
Ooh, nice. A little bit of multiple lighting. You can see a little bit of that kind of pink glow coming in from the right hand side from our perspective, and then a bunch of that blue glow coming from the other side. I like it.
Next month's challenge, plaid. Or next month's challenge, don't paint plaid.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's not a challenge. That's what we all do anyway.
Dubu Babu
Oh.
Oh, okay. This is why
Dubu
it
Babu
had
also
the
had the
super
other
bright
Star
glow.
Wars one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is literally on top of the other
Yeah.
one.
Oh, are they two separate?
This is the models that come off the top of it.
But we're in the last
He left
picture
them
where
on their
they-
bases so he can play with them.
Mm-hmm.
So you can pull them out of the diorama he made.
Yeah, which
But
is
in
cool.
the last picture, was this attached to it?
Yes.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are the ones. Those are the
That's
Ewoks that you
the
said.
one I saw. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I really love the
So
glowy
now,
eyes from the Ewoks.
when it's by itself, it makes sense to have that.
It
little-
makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see.
it becomes a very hard dilemma to pull off, because if you want to have that same OSL effect, be reasonable here, you have to sacrifice on the
diorama bit.
diorama what's
Yeah.
going on.
Gotcha. So this was first, then I built the diorama.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
eyes are
really?
my favorite.
Okay, great.
The eyes are
It definitely explains why the diorama is the way that it is, for sure. Because you had to make that bit glowy, super glowy. Oh, this model. Is that a tongue?
Oh. That
That's
looks
like
a tongue.
his beard. This is a GW model from the whatever the
I could see that. Maybe.
space hulky Black Fortress thing, I
yeah.
think, right?
Bakamara would know. The beard.
The eyes are how you can tell the Ewoks are so friendly. Indeed. Yes, totally. Friendly Ewoks.
Don't they eat people?
The Ewoks.
Yep.
General Ginkgo with an... Oh, this is cool.
I know this model.
I also know this model.
This is neat.
This is a
That's
cool...
a
Oh, yeah,
really
Puppeteer.
cool model.
The Puppeteer is actually a pretty cool one to do this challenge on,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Very much so, because it
Could
has a
do
real
like a-
mystical feel to the whole model.
Yeah.
Gosh, I really like that model.
It is a cool
Do
model.
we have any more?
Yeah.
Handful.
Oh, I
Uh-oh,
think that's the
Jen's,
last one.
Jen's
Oh, yeah,
going.
that one's it.
We need to see Jen paint this.
I never paint. That's my problem. I have
Well.
so many things that I want to paint.
Solvable problem, Jen.
But can you make more hours in the day, Jordan?
We could boot Jordan to producer desk for a week.
Well, maybe once in a while, not a whole week. At a
I don't
time.
mind producing if Jen gets to paint.
Once in a while.
Once in a while,
Yeah.
I don't mind producing, so Jen gets to paint.
All right. Do we need to go back through these?
Well, we got to pick out a couple of ones
We-
that we really like.
Yes. I
Yeah.
mean,
I would have to go through and see them again.
okay. I'll flip through them again. How many are we each doing? One.
Let's do one each.
Okay. Jason, do you have one in mind? Have you been paying attention enough?
I'm going to do the Luke Skywalker and the Ewoks.
Nice.
Fine.
Haha, you shouldn't have asked me first then. You should have told me what yours was and then asked me
Trying to be
second.
considerate.
Huh?
Putting other people
No,
before
Jen,
me.
we know better. We gotta make sure that we pick our.
Sorry, I was going through really fast. Okay.
I think I know which one I want.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do not.
I think I do. Tech Elf.
That's the one you were.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I really like.
Yeah, it was really great.
Yeah,
Okay,
with
wait, so I gotta write
the
these
super
down. So
soft light on the
Tech
skull.
Elf.
I would even on this one, I would even go a stage brighter
Yeah.
on the skulls.
Yep.
Right? Not necessarily on the cloth, but because you also need to be telling material difference when you do OSL, and the skulls have an opportunity to be more reflective than the cloth. They don't have to be, but when you're painting in a situation like this where you don't see a whole lot else, pull out the metal of the sword and the skulls and give them just a little peak reflection on them so that you know that they're a hard material versus a soft material of the cloth. Would be my only thing. But great piece.
Oh. I really like this one a lot.
Jen's
I
like,
like this one just because I like it. I don't know that I like it necessarily because because of OSL. I just really like this one. All right, let me get through.
So many good ones.
Mm-hmm.
As always,
I
you
have
guys
such a
make
hard
this very
time.
hard.
I have a hard time because I look at the model, and if I really like the model,
Aha, now you know how hard judging is. Judging paint competitions is like the worst thing in the world because it could be like the model you're tuned to gives it extra points.
I think
Yeah, Megan, your owl mage is up towards the front of the pack. We covered it as one of the first few.
yes, we did.
Oh, and such a great model. Lots of fun.
Which one?
The owl.
The
Yeah.
owl mage.
I mean, I might be a little biased. For some reason, I think owls are super cute.
The idea of this one.
Oh God, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, and Game Delay won a prize on
Oh,
Game
man,
Delay
this
gets
one
shunned.
it. It's hard. It's
Man,
really good too.
it's like, I want like 4
That
or
one's
5.
fantastic.
What'd you say?
This one's fantastic, is what he
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
Okay.
Jen, you kind of own the place. You can
I
pick
was just
more than
gonna
one.
say, I'm picking 2 because I can.
I'm picking 2
So,
because I
Face
can.
Smasher
Okay. Nice. Love it.
and the one that I just like because I like it.
Hey, there you
With
go.
The beefy guy outside the bar.
Yep.
Jen just likes it.
It's
Minji
tremendous.
Minji.
This one.
Yep.
Mingy.
You can't not pick it.
All right. Good job, everyone, and
Yeah.
thank you so much for participating. Is the new challenge up?
Not
For
yet.
August?
It
Not
will,
yet.
It will be up.
They were at
Very shortly.
Gen Con.
The next one is do OSL where you have 8 light sources.
Done. He said it. That's what we're doing.
Oh,
I'm holding
Neon
Jason
and
to
buff
it.
Dwarves are the way to my heart.
what's that?
Baka said, "All right, chat, take notes. Neon and buff dwarves are the way to Jen's heart."
I mean, buff neon
don't know what's
dwarves.
wrong with
Pretty
it.
cool.
Yeah. I need to know
Storytelling.
what the
You can
neon
see
is.
that
Is it-
around here we are really into the story of the model, right? Whether it's the sculpt that does it, the paint that does it, but I think every single person would admit the same thing.
Oh, I have a great idea for next month's challenge.
What's that?
Tell me a story.
We've done that here recently.
Have we?
Well, within the last year, yeah.
Hmm.
Right?
Isn't that just
we?
normal light? The eight light sources. Just normal light.
I mean, good painting should always be telling a story, so I think you'd have to pick a story. Like we
I guess
did,
that's true.
we did War. We said that
Oh, we did post-apocalypse.
the post-apocalyptic one, right, which
I
had
can
to
just-
tell a story.
If I just push 2 paint or main, it goes back to the cameras, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Look at that.
should.
I did it.
Speaking of OSL,
Oh.
I'm setting up my
Jason's been
flames.
painting while we were looking through
Mhm.
all of those.
Indeed. Plaid. Dubu plaid.
That kind of limits the model.
It does. It does.
The challenge is plaid skin.
Oh, God, no.
Heh,
Oh, no. I didn't even want to look at that. Oh, God.
plaid orcs.
Plaid orcs.
So as you saw me do, as we were going right before we went into the review, I painted all the flames in bold titanium white just to get a bright white going on there. And then I've come back over with transparent yellow, but I sprayed with the airbrush, right? Titanium white thinned down so that I could get that overspray into the area where the glow would go. I've gone full intensity transparent yellow on all of the flames. Right? Now I'm going to put transparent yellow thin down in the airbrush to do the light areas.
Electman246
Yeah.
says,
Story suggestion.
may I make a story suggestion?
Sure.
Espionage.
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 That would be like a cool theme. Like spies and 007 espionage theme for next month's. But that's more of like a model theme and less of a painting theme.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And we want it to be.
It's a good storytelling thing.
It is a
but
good story.
I think you wind up with 50 million skulking assassins or snipers.
Right. Correct, yeah.
It's model limiting, right?
Um,
We don't like to do things that require a particular model. We do it every now and then where we say, like, paint a monster, you know? I like stuff like that, you know? But, what is it, September? No, it's August.
It is August.
What does August mean?
Summer.
No, what is August?
My birthday.
It's Jen's birthday,
That's what
so
My birthday.
last year I got.
it's Jen's
it was
birthday
cute.
month. So let's do something in Jen's
No,
favorite
we
colors.
did that last year. We
Well,
don't
maybe
have to
that's
that
what we
again.
do every
did
year.
that last year. I mean, it's also Jordan's birthday month.
It is-
So.
Yeah, it's actually just my birthday.
I mean, it's his literal
Today.
birthday today, actually.
Okay, so everybody has to primer a model you finished.
We actually did that already. we
We did it-
unironically
a
actually kind of
repaint.
did that
Yeah,
earlier
we did.
this year.
We did one that was where they had to repaint it.
Yeah, we were like, hey,
Yeah.
take a model that you were not happy with the result and try it over again. We did that one.
I'm saying you just have to reprime a model you're very proud of.
No.
Your favorite model, you have to go reprime it. One that everybody else told you you're crazy if you
No.
repaint that one.
Yes, it is. It is Jordan's actual birthday today.
Oh, I got it. You have to paint with your non-dominant hand for a
Oh,
month.
jeez.
Oh Jesus, we can't
How are you gonna prove that?
we can't ever tell if people really did it.
Yeah,
True.
There's no way to know unless they
So if you-
like
no.
have it, the entire painting on video. And who has time to watch that?
Should we do diorama month? Tell a story with a diorama?
We could.
It's a lot. It's a big one. I
It's
feel
a
like we
lot.
should probably do that on a
I
month
like to
where
keep
they have
them
more
light.
days. Yeah.
Clown dark.
Yeah,
clown.
paint a model left-handed. Everybody who is inherently left-handed gets a
Bonus.
bonus.
This one's easy.
Oh, I got it. Since-
Sinister.
How about this? We each pick a color that they have to use. Jen's birthday is during this month. My birthday is during this month. Jason's definitely gonna have a birthday during this month, so he also gets to
Huh?
pick one.
What? I don't have a birthday this month.
I'm making it so you have a birthday. this
I'm
month,
already
so you
old
can pick.
enough, man.
All right, Jen. Then shall we each pick 2 colors for them to use for the challenge?
We could do that.
I like that.
Just general colors, not necessarily pro colors, right? Because
Sure.
I need,
Yeah.
like I could just say like,
Well, I mean, you can say Procro colors, and if they have something that's similar, they can use that.
all right,
That's
a
what we
lot
generally
that I have
do.
to look through and think about then.
Oh, I
We
know
have-
at least one of my colors. I know. Easy peasy lemon squeezy for me. Dark plum
That
is
would have been one that I would have picked.
color number 1 from me. And of course, I will allow black and white also to be used with this.
I got a couple minutes here before I need to leave. Let me look at the color chart and see where we got.
And so dark plum. Let's go yellow green. Those will be my 2.
Can you put them on the?
Yeah.
Yeah, I game delay. That's my lesson for today.
Dark plum, yellow green.
Never let them go first. I am going to do.
And they have white and black, so they can get brighter or darker colors pretty easily.
This is hard. I think. I would have picked dark plum. I'll do dark magenta.
Dark magenta, okay.
Yeah. And dark turquoise.
Ooh.
You don't sound happy about it.
I stole the one that you really wanted
Yeah,
to
I would have picked dark plum. It's hard to pick just 2.
do. I mean, we can give them a 5th one if you want.
You know
pick
what?
another.
I would use all 4 of those colors actually.
I think this is a great palette.
Yeah.
Very interesting one.
Can we just work in And
I mean,
now
we can put like
analogous
a neutral skin tone in there.
or complementary color schemes.
One more
I
time?
gotta go do the doors real quick. I'll be back.
What's it for?
Can we just work in analogous or complementary color schemes? I mean, we got 4 colors for you. I mean, we basically gave you most of a color palette that you could use to basically make anything. We gave a more traditional yellow. You could basically make anything. Pretty close to. Is this a limited palette challenge or a must also use these colors challenge? I don't know, Jason, what do you think?
I think I like the idea of it being these must be the main colors on your model. Doesn't have to be the only colors,
Okay.
but these have to be the main colors.
All right.
Does that make sense?
The vote has been cast. Jason has locked it in. These must be present on your model.
They must be the main,
They
not
must,
present.
Oh yeah, these
they
must
have
be
to be the
main.
main colors on your model.
Yes, these must
These
be
have
the
to
main
be the colors that your model stands out with first.
Yep.
So this is the palette, right? You just decided you're painting a new army. Guess what color that army is? It's these.
Yep.
And then you can work backwards from there to find other colors that work along with these.
Yep.
But these have to be the ones that are most prominent. We don't do that very often. I like that.
I like it.
So not a limited palette necessarily. It's a structured palette.
Yeah.
Challenge.
Structured palette challenge.
You have to use these.
The August birthday month structured palette challenge.
And you have to convince us that, you use them in the best way possible.
How did you know my Squig army uses these colors, baby?
There you go. Done.
Well, then, Avian, you've got a really, really easy job this month.
Done easy.
All you got to do is finish a model. Face Smasher, remember, you don't have to use these exact colors. If you have something similar, you're welcome to use it. Also, if you'd like to just buy some colors, we're not going to say no.
But we don't ever force you to use just
Correct.
those. You just
Yeah,
have to be able to use a yellow, green, a magenta. Right.
I'll finish a model, you kill me.
The dark plum is going to be hard.
Oh, I love Dark Plum.
Dark plum is a color that doesn't really, you don't have a lot of options in other ranges.
That is true.
So,
It's a pretty unique color.
but you can make it work. Like a dark purple and red would give you something close.
Mm-hmm.
Lol, finish a model, you kill me. Come on, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yep. Jason can do it, and does do it. He's a man of many finished models.
I also have good photographers like Chris around that make it seem like I finish models. He put a bunch of ad art in the chat today that made it look like I finish a bunch more models than I really do. 'Cause half of those models are not even done, but he got the good side of them.
Oh, that's funny. Golden
Like Enzo is one of my favorite models to photo, but he's not even done and I don't even care. Like I photo that model and I'm like, I don't care, whatever. He's like halfway done. He still looks good.
Yeah. You have a lot of like 98% finished models.
I get bored quick. Is my problem.
Oh, so do I, to be honest.
Game Valley says, maybe I'll buy some watches. Oh wait, what's this in my suitcase after Gen Con?
There you go.
Permanent violet. Well, that's a dark violet, or dark magenta is actually just pure Queen O magenta. So if you have golden paints, just use Queen of Magenta, although this is the darker version of that.
Bye, Gabe.
It's a single
Gabe
pigment.
left us.
Queen of Creedon magenta. So easy if you use artist style paints. That's all it is. Just a very high end magenta pigment. I've got a good basis for my Fire OSL starting to build up.
He's so fiery.
And now it's just a bunch of back and forth with brighter colors.
Chuck the Bee Man. Ugh. Gotta go start getting ready for work tomorrow. That's a bummer.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
That's the pain of vacation.
He had like 2 weeks off. I don't. He had a great vacation.
Yeah, Crimea River.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had what do we get? We call it a half a day yesterday. We had a half a day off.
All right, Jen. We have made the decision. We have finalized
That
the
one
challenge.
guy. If you just put your order in like just now, send a note to support at monumenthobbies.com, and they can add in dark magenta for it. Show.
So, Jen, the challenge has been finalized.
Okay.
We are using these colors
Yep.
as the primary colors
Okay.
for the challenge,
Uh-huh.
which means they can use other colors,
Okay.
but these must be the focal point main colors of the palette.
Okay.
So it's going to be a August birthday month structured palette challenge,
I like it.
which is what I'm going to call it, unironically. Or I guess ironically.
All right.
Yeah, it should
We
be
got
fun.
links.
Those are all great colors. You could work those
Yeah.
into anything.
Yeah.
And you know what? When we talked about at the beginning of the show, when you can underpaint, remember that these colors could be really, really bitchin'
This
for
will make
like
it really
underpainting something and doing something really cool, like we showed with Dante's Wings, right?
Yeah.
Because all of those colors are almost represented here. The only one that isn't is a dark plum, but even that could be used in place of, say, the dark purple that I did. Right? All of those colors are in here.
Well, here's a question. Would you consider that to be appropriate for the challenge if the main colors need to be these colors?
You would have to go deep and make it to where I know that I see all this, right? Like the turquoise and the plum and the yellow green and all of that. Yeah. You would have to do it in a way that we did it, but I think that would be a really cool and unique way to do that.
Well, there you go. All right.
Yeah.
The
goal when we do these deals where it's like, hey, your main color has to be yellow, is that when you look at the model, it has to be like, okay, I get it, it's yellow. It could be very desaturated. It could be a really crazy use of yellow. It could be like we did today with the OSL is yellow and the rest of the model isn't. You can get creative with it, but you got to use these colors, have to be immediately noticeable on the model. Don't make me dig for them because you painted 4 little vials in these 4 colors that we've given you, and the rest of the model is whatever you chose.
We have to see these colors when we look at the model 100%.
I would like to request Dragon Texture Trainer, and I want to use the colors.
Oh,
you want to paint a salamander? Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, I'm in.
You know a guy.
Yeah, turns out.
Brennan's in there with 5 million of them in his lap all the time. So you can...
I don't want to I don't want to put any more on his plate.
You go in there and take one, and he's like, ah! It's like soul shattering. He has to do one more. He had it all figured out. He had the perfect amount, and you taking one means he has to go print a whole nother plate of them. Brendan may not show up again tomorrow.
Like, ah. Yeah, I actually really like this palette. I think it's going to be a really cool palette to do.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
All right.
All right.
That's it, folks.
That's it. I put up some links.
Yes, Jen has so kindly placed some links into the chat for you.
I did. I placed them there gently.
Don't be confused. She did not throw up. She has gently placed them into the chat.
So we'd like for all of you to go click on those links that Jen threw up in chat.
Jason. Bullet Shine Shop.
I'm not going to let you people get comfortable.
If you need any of these beautiful colors to participate in our Discord painting challenge, you can get them at the store link that I posted. Or you can check our store locator to see if you could drive to a store nearby and pick them up in person.
Yes.
There's also a Discord link, which you need in order to get to the Discord to be able to participate in the August challenge using these beautiful colors. Yep. And then, what's the last one? YouTube. That's where some of you are watching us right now. So you already know about that link. And if you're watching us on Twitch, click the YouTube link and find all of our past streams and other video content.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Jen took us out.
Jen took us out.
And Jen's going to find somebody to raid, too.
You know what? We're going to raid Next Level Painting because it is his anniversary. So,
so many special days today.
It is Jordan's birthday. So one last happy birthday to Jordan.
Thank
and then
you guys.
take that celebratory excitement over to Kenny and wish him happy anniversary.
8 years. He's been streaming. Amazing. Give him big congratulations from us, and we will catch you back here mañana.
Love you all, guys.
Bye.
Adios,
Thank you
gang.
so much for the well wishes. Have a great day.